Well, hi, and today I want to speak to you from some verses in Matthew 24, that famous time when he looked into the future and saw his return, the end of the world, and the day of judgment. Let's read a verse from the beginning of the chapter, Matthew 24, verse 3. It says, "Now as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, 'Tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?'" They could have said, "The coronavirus, is it the end?" Well, Matthew 24 and 25 are the record of Jesus's discourse on the Mount of Olives about the end of the world. Of course, it's been the cause of endless discussion and many arguments. But the most important aspect of it is easy to miss. Simply look at the serenity of Jesus, surrounded by confused disciples, and yet able to comfort them and give them a perspective of peace and final triumph in the midst of trouble. You see, on the Mount of Olives, Jesus was facing crucifixion imminently. This was approximately Wednesday, I think, and he was crucified on the Friday. That he was facing crucifixion and a horrific death. Of course, his disciples had been completely out of step with him regarding his approaching passion. They didn't grasp what was about to happen. And of course, they didn't see the resurrection. They didn't believe in the resurrection, not yet. Jesus was the man of sorrows, and he was isolated in his awareness of what lay immediately ahead in the next few days. He was about to be betrayed by Judas, and he knew that. And he was about to be abandoned by the apostles, his closest disciples. But in this chapter, we also see that he saw the coming centuries with the fall of Jerusalem in about 40 years' time, and endless wars. He saw the church, obviously, in all its ups and downs through church history, with persecution and internal strife and sad things happening in the church. Yet Christ was not living under the fear of the darkness in the future, not even of the shadow of his imminent suffering on the cross. There is majesty and tranquility as Jesus lifted up his eyes and saw the ultimate triumph and accomplishment of the plan and will of God, both in the cross and in history and in his final return. He knew the resurrection was but 3 days away from his death. And looking further, he saw his glorious return and rule and the establishing of his everlasting kingdom. Well, believers may rightly discuss all the details of this prophecy. Why not? It's interesting and it's captivating, but the key lesson is much simpler. We are to sit with him and drink of his peacefulness and calm as we face whatever the next 3 days may bring us, or the next 300 years. Let us not fear, but drink in what is in his heart, the fearless, matchless Son of God, the Prince of Peace. Let's sit with him as we look into the future. God bless you.